All right, give me just 1 second. I'm just getting my laptop set up with the stream chat real quick. Just about there. Just my desk is a mess. Clean it off later. Oh man. There we go. Awesome. I think we're all good now. All right. You can just move over there for a little bit. You can move over there as well. Out of the way. Perfect. All right. That's a little bit more cleaned up. Oh. Had my headphone underneath the charging cable. There we go. All right. All right. There we go. All right, I'm gonna go and transition over here to my camera real quick. I'm still getting the project opened up. But hello. I don't know if we got anybody in the chat yet, but if we do, hello. Appreciate you guys joining. All right. So, I've started getting things uploaded to, let me break it down from last week, okay? For anybody who might not have been here, assuming we have people in the chat, okay? I think I see a couple people in here. So last week I was getting ready to do playtesting on Steam. It's been approved. However, you can't actually see the playtest because you still need to have a store page for like the default app. Which I don't have. I only have the playtest app. So the playtest app is separate from like the actual game app. And so I need to actually set up the main game store before you can actually see the playtest button. It's been approved. You just can't actually do anything with it because it's not being displayed anywhere on the Steam store. But for that to happen, I need I need a few things. One of those being some screenshots. I believe I have most of the other like image assets that I need. So I want to try and clean up the project a little bit, at least the main lobby level, so I can get at least a couple of screenshots. Try and see if I can't get that page open because I really want to be doing playtesting, but I can't until you guys can actually try downloading the project to playtest. So that needs to be done. But assuming I can get all that working, it'll be up next week. They had it approved. They had the actual page approved on Monday. Then they had the build approved sometime last night or this morning. So it only took a couple days, and I only need the page to be approved to see the playtest. So yeah. I ended up, let me go ahead and transition over here to my desktop real quick. There we go. So I ended up doing a little bit of work on this. I'm going to go and remove this for a second. This is one of the character models that I've been working on. I just kind of put together like a simple material that I could use for like default stuff that I'm still working on getting together. So I started putting together and playing around with some of the assets for this, and I ended up actually coming out with a better layout for the for how this is all going to look, because it looks a little bland. I have this little notebook here that I actually bring around with me all over the place. I just leave it in my bag whenever I go anywhere. And so I've been working on a few. I need to kind of finish redesigning them, but I've put together like just a very simple little layout for the for the medieval room. So that's part of the reason I've actually created a couple of these assets. So we're going to go ahead, go through I need to move the door over actually to over here, to over on this side, and this wall is actually going to be changed around a little bit as well. We'll probably still leave it in one piece, and then we'll probably kind of have it. It's going to be more of like a U-shaped, in order to make it look a little bit more unique. Because I feel like part of the reason it looks so weird is because it's just a simple box, and so we're going to make it look a little bit nicer. So let's go ahead and get started on some of this, start getting some of this together. So let's go ahead. Let me make sure I'm on the right level too, so that way in case I drop anything in. I don't know that I need to drop anything in right now, but you never know. So first off, this needs to come all the way over here, and I do not have snapping on. Hold on. So first, this needs to come all the way over here. Okay, this is going to be the first step. One more. This does not line up perfectly like I thought it did. I think that'll work just like that. And then these two can... Let's just move these over for a second. Something like that. Do I need to add in... How does this not fit correctly? Oh, that's why I have a single wall over here. I did not realize that. That would explain it. I was wondering why this didn't fit correctly, and now I know. So I think actually, seeing how this works, I think this needs to shift over a bit. And actually, I'm not going to worry about this not lining up because you're not even going to be able to see this. I actually might take this and reduce it down a couple of walls here since it's not even going to be visible. I ended up making this in a way where it's a little bit more modular and a little bit easier to work with. So I can just kind of reuse a lot of these stuff. Let's go and move some of this around. I'm going to leave that there. This. I'm going to take all this out. I'm going to remove these square tables. And actually, I came up with a better idea for these chairs. So we might actually put those in as well. Do a quick model for these chairs and swap them around. This portal, I'm actually probably going to later on swap this out for a door. Did my screen just freeze? What just happened? Oh, Unreal Engine froze for a sec. Give it one sec. So we're actually going to end up moving this over here against this wall, and then this is basically going to become like a little bar area. What I think I might actually want to end up doing is creating like a different sort of counter space, and then just like some overhead stuff, maybe, or like some shelves, if that makes sense. But for now, we're just going to move all of this over. Oh, I forgot to grab the cabinets. So for now, let's just go and grab all this. We'll move all this over. Perfect. And then let's just go and move all of these over just a bit more. Actually, we won't move them all over. Let's just move this one over. Perfect. Oh, I also set up... These now fully work with the hands. I need to put together like a little video for like Twitter and Instagram and all that. I've not posted like a good little overview of how everything is working in a little while. Why did I turn off? I remember why I turned off some of these snappings. I was trying to get some more accurate stuff here. So just for now, we're gonna put this right over here, not all the way up against the wall, just close to it. Okay. Should work pretty nicely. All right. Now, let's go ahead. I'm going to move this forward. And actually, I want to leave these rocks because I wanted this to kind of look like a bit of mud or something was just kind of sitting on the floor next to the front door. So we're actually going to move this right on over here. We'll go and move this sword, and we're gonna put it right up against the top over here. Oh, did I actually move it up? I did not mean to move it up. So the idea behind this is going to act as sort of like the store. Oh, I know why. I have surface snapping on, don't I? I do. That's why it's going up. It's because I have surface snapping on. Okay. There we go. So this is basically going to become more of like a little storefront where players can kind of buy like upgrades and stuff for their run. And that's what this little area here is eventually going to become. And I'm actually going to have, it's going to basically look like a little glitched out NPC is what's going to end up going here. But for now, it's not really important that I have an NPC, but it will be important later on. That's actually really important to the story. So I will need to make sure I have that later on. I might actually want to see, I think I might want to swap this around with this. I think I may want to move these over a little bit because I wanted to have one of these like on either side of the door with some chairs. Because I want for it to look a little bit cramped. Like they're just trying to get a little, like they're just trying to get as many patrons in as possible. Let me see, can I grab the other one? Perfect, I did. There. Did I leave that in the corner? I did. Let's go move this over. I did also end up fixing the collision I was running into with the medieval 1-1 room, which is nice. So that's looking a little bit better. This, I think, needs to come off the wall just a bit. And then we'll put one more right on over here. And then we're actually going to have a wall right here. So what I'm thinking is I'll go and take one of these for now. And actually, I think I might need to make this room a little bit smaller overall, too. Because I think this might be a bit big. You know what? I don't know that I made this really good for this angle. I'm going to have to see here. Let's move it forward a bit, maybe. I think this needs to be forwarded like just enough because I think I just need it to basically cover up this piece of wood here to make it look a little bit more natural. So I wonder if I can kind of get it to line up just right. Let me slow down my camera a bit. For just a smidge. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to just kind of cover that up a bit or something. Yeah, because it doesn't line up perfectly like I had hoped. Hello, Access 4 Media. How you doing? I need to kind of stretch this out just a bit to try and make this work. Oh, too much. Too much. I don't know if this is quite going to work right. I think I might need to make a few small adjustments to this model or something. Does that get it? I think that got it. Oh yeah, that got it. Perfect. Oh, I'm doing well as good. I'm doing good as well. Thank you for asking. I have a few more. I've been working on a few different devlogs and stuff, or I guess not a few different devlogs. I've been working on one, but I've been trying to make sure everything has been working well. I really just need to kind of commit to doing these devlogs a little bit more regularly, I think. Just regardless of the state it's in. I need to basically approach it the same way I've been doing the, I'm trying to do the play test. I don't think this is going to work right. But yeah, otherwise I've been doing fine. Thank you very much. I made this in such the weirdest way, I think. Because I'm also trying to get this to line up fine, like just right with the beams here as well. Let me do something. I think I might have an idea. Mic is super low. Hold on. Let me go ahead. Oh, yeah, it is turned down a bit. Hold on. Let me go and turn it up just a bit. That should hopefully be a little bit better. That might actually be a little too much. Do 22. There we go. That's a little bit better, I think. I don't like going into the red area here when I talk. I feel like that's a bit... Looks like Japan location or something like that. So good. I was aiming for like a medieval tavern. I don't know. I feel like I'm having a bit of a hard time getting the exact like medieval tavern look. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I need to kind of redo some of these designs a little bit, make it look a little bit more like a tavern or something like that. I need to get a. I didn't make these correctly for like these inside corners. I made these for like these outside corners. I wasn't thinking about doing this, so I gotta figure this out. For now, I'm gonna make it work just as best I can. Go and pull this forward. But I think I'm gonna have to make a few adjustments to these just to make it work a little better. The white walls give it a Japanese look. Okay. I wonder then, I might need to swap it out for something that looks a little bit more wooden or something maybe. Yeah, I was aiming for medieval. I was aiming for a medieval tavern. Go in geometry itself and click double-sided. No, you're not going to see this inside area here, if that's what you're talking about. No, where I'm talking about things not lining up correctly is like right here, because I didn't make these corners, like these beams, I didn't make them in a way where you're going to be able to see the inside here. So there's going to be like a little gap here in the mesh. So I'm probably going to need to make a few small changes to the mesh to make it work. Because you kind of see what I'm talking about here. Like I accidentally made it. Now there's a gap here in the wood in the corner. Yeah. Yeah. So hold on real quick. Hold on. Because this is what I was aiming for, right? Hold on. Let's see here. Medieval tavern interior. Let me see. If I pull up some images here, we'll do some Google images. Maybe I need to aim for something like that's a little bit more brick or something, because I was going for something a little bit simple. Because you see, like on some of these, like they kind of have like these white walls here, instead of like any sort of brick or something. That's kind of why I went with the white. But I'll be honest, I didn't really like. I don't know that I love the white. Maybe I'll go with like some red brick or something like that instead. Put some pillars. I do need to put some pillars. That's something else I'm going to be doing today. Yeah, pillars are definitely happening today. I'm actually going to be making a, this is going to end up having a second story. So I'm going to have some pillars going up to like a second floor. I haven't made the second floor or anything like that yet, but we're going to be doing that today. We're basically redoing all this because one of the things I got to do for the playtesting is I need to have screenshots. So that needs to happen at some point today. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me actually see if I can do this, actually. Hold on. Instead of flipping it around, I'm going to do this real quick. What axis is that? X? Can I do, like, -1? No, not that. No? Oh, that's why it's mirrored. Okay, so nope, not that one. One of these axes. There it is. That one. So over here, there's going to be some stairs to the second story. So it's going to be going right on over here. A little bit more. There we go. So over here, we're going to have some stairs that go up to the second story. So actually, all of this actually needs to go up. Where's the... There it is. We'll move it up twice where we're at with the Z. Oh, these are both different. Okay, let's do this then. I got an idea. Details. What is this at? Hold on. Let me pin this open real quick. Okay, so we'll move it up to 600 here. And then we'll go and move this up another 300. Because this does need to be shrunk down just a bit. Yeah. Okay. So a little something like that. And then what we can actually do... How do I want to do this? Maybe take all of these and bring them up. Actually, I'm going to take up these 3 walls because these ones are full-size walls. So I'm going to take these up, and then I'll create just another full-size wall over here for now. Where did it move it to? There it is. I also think it'll make it look a little less cramped. One of the things that I noticed when I was in the VR headset, it felt a little cramped when I was in here as well. So I think opening it up like this will actually make it a little less cramped. Okay, so let's go and bring this over. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do this. Just move this right on over. Oh, that did not line up perfectly like I thought it would. There we go. Oh, a little bit too far. There we go. Okay. So we'll do that. And then I need... Did I make 1x1 wall floors? I think I did. Let me see here. Tavern. You know what, though? These aren't double-sided. I didn't make these double-sided. I think I might need to. Yeah, I didn't. Damn it. Okay. So we'll need some double-sided floors. These can at least work over here, I think, though. So we'll need some double-sided floors. So that way you can make the second floor. Maybe raise it a bit. think I'm also going to need to figure out some banisters or something as well. Actually, because of the way these are, I can actually just stretch this right along. And this will actually work just fine. I could probably just do like a straight 4. Yeah, perfect. Look at that. Because these are just basically straight lines. Ooh, not that. Just trying to see if I could. There it is. Okay. There we go. All right. So that'll work there. So we're going to basically put some banisters that go, we're going to make a few, making things single side for performance reasons. I don't know that really serves much of a performance reason. For most of the game, you're going to basically be looking at interiors. So I didn't really see a need to do the other side. So I just never ended up doing it. But now that I'm going through this, now I see that I will in fact need 2 sides for some of this. Yeah, I don't have just the single beams. So yeah, I don't know that really serves much of a performance benefit or not. It might. I mean, that would be a nice little benefit if it does. The only reason I was doing it was because I didn't need to do the other side. All right. Wait. Oh, this doesn't line up right over here. Oh, no. Hold on. So we'll shift this over a little bit. No, it needs to be shifted over just a bit. There we go. Just right. All right, so cool. So that'll work there. So now we just need to get some floor. Actually, let me check. I thought I may have had something I could use for flooring. I might be wrong though. I do not. Okay, that is a-okay. All right, so what we'll do is we'll get some beams that can go along here just to make it look a little bit cleaner here. And then we're also going to have, because the floor is going to go across, and actually I think some of this might need to come forward a bit, some of this wall over here. Because I want it to look just a bit more cramped, like it was just like a small little stuffy tavern or something like that. And then we'll get some beams going up. We'll put maybe like 2 or 3 just like right over here to support up this side of the wall. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, let's go and get, I'm going to open up the Blender project I already have real quick. Where are models? I'd completely forgotten what I was looking for. I think it was level designs. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Perfect. All right, so we'll do this. So for a single beam, we're going to keep it nice and simple. Single beam. So we'll call this one. Remove that. Okay, and we're just going to remove one of these. That's going to be our beam. Perfect. So now we got our beam. Let's Still colored all right. Awesome. Let me actually switch to layout real quick. All right, and then what else do we need? We need the vertical beams. That's right. So for the vertical beams, let's do this. Let's see. Do I have? I was looking for some. Not that. Oh, let's do this one. Vertical beam. And just to make sure we get the right dimensions on this, let's do this. That was the wrong thing. Okay, is this mirroring? I think this might be mirroring. So let's go and apply. Perfect. Vertices. What the? Oh, it's because oh, wait, I'm editing the wrong one. Oh, shoot. I was editing the complete wrong one. I was trying to figure out what's going on here. Apply. Perfect. All right, there we go. This can all go. Okay, and I'm going to do a mirror modifier here. We're going to do this across the... Ooh. What axis is this? Is that Z-axis? It's Z-axis. Okay. Make sure clipping is on. And then we're going to go and shrink this just a bit. Make it a little bit more even. I think that might be pretty good. Just gotta make sure the color's still right. Yes, it is. Awesome. All right, so now we got our vertical beam. Cool. All right. So that should be all good. So we have that, the beam. I also want to put together a banister real quick. So banister. I don't want to do this. I'm gonna grab this real quick. We'll make a quick model using this as a base. Oh, I'm still in edit mode. Oh, you know, I also need some stairs. I need some stairs to be able to get up to that second floor, so we also need to do that. Let's do this. I think I have an idea for this. We'll remove these. Let's see. This does need to be mirrored. Hold on. Let me think about this for a second. We're just going to keep it nice and simple for now. Okay, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to apply this array, and what I'll basically do is just chop off the rest of this, so that way we have one. I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing. And then I'll mirror it again. Okay, but for this, I think we're gonna keep this nice and simple as well. I'm gonna do this. Do every one like that. Oh wait, you know what? That's gonna cause an issue, isn't it? Because I'm gonna end up with a mirrored one right here. Let's do this real quick. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let's go ahead and grab these. And I think I can dissolve edges. So if we do that, hold on. 1, 2, 3. I think that would work right there. I keep holding down control instead of shift. Okay, and then we can bevel these. You know what? I think it'll look all right if I do it like this. I want for it to look just a little bit wonky. Maybe I'll end up leveling this out real quick. I don't know that I want it to look quite that wonky. Held down control again. Now I end up with this weird thing going on in the middle here. Let me see, maybe I can do this real quick. Hold on. Maybe I can just shift it over and it'll look fine. No. What if I just do these ones? That looks a bit better. We'll call that close enough for now. I think I might need to come back and fix this up a bit later on. These to delete vertices. Do I still have a face here? I do. Awesome. So that ended up working out pretty nicely. Could do another mirror here to finish off the other side. I think that'll work all right as a banister. It's not the best, but I for now just need something that looks pretty good. So we'll do that. And then let's see here. Is there anything else that I need? Let's have a look. Let's see. We got banisters that'll go up and down. I'll probably also run a few here and there that just go straight up to the ceiling with like beams running between them like I have here. Maybe I'll even run a few beams along the bottom just to make it look a little bit nicer. You guys might need to let me know too if this doesn't end up looking quite like it probably should be. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else? Anything else at all? Stairs. I almost forgot about the stairs. All right, so stairs. I think I might need to do from scratch actually. Let's see, it's going to be 3 across. Okay, I do need at least one, so I can at least get a reference of how this is going to look. I'm not really sure how I want to do this, though. Stairs. Hello, Cotton Candy. How you doing? I don't know that I want it quite this circular. I wanted something that's a bit more straight, because I feel like I don't like circles like this. I've seen them in VR. It feels a little bit nauseous to me. I think I might want to do something kind of like this general design where it kind of goes up and then you got a flat area. Maybe something like this. Actually, I think this would actually be good. We go up. We have a little flat area here, and then we go up, then we have another flat area. I think that'll actually work really nice. So let's do that. Okay, so let's go and add mesh. We'll do a cube. We're going to call these stairs. All right. So here's how we're going to do this. Chat disconnected. Did I get disconnected from the chat? What the heck? What the heck? Why did I suddenly get signed out? That was so weird. That was really weird. I got disconnected from my stream on my laptop. That was so weird. I've never had that happen before. All right. Maybe bring that down just a bit more. We'll go right there. All right. So I believe these are 4 meters tall. So we'll bring it up 2 meters. Okay, we'll also shift it forward a bit. Wait. No, this might need to be 1.5 meters. I thought I made them 4 meters tall. I guess I made them 3 meters instead. 2, 3. I did. Okay. Did I do that? Did I not scale it up in Unreal? I did not. Okay, that could also explain why it felt a bit cramped. That might explain it. Okay. It'll be fine though. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Let's move it forward a bit, maybe like 0.5. Ooh, minus 0.5. Okay, I think that'll end up looking pretty nice. I feel like this might end up being pretty wide stairs, if I'm honest. I think honestly 2 might be fine here. I think what I might end up doing is bring this whole wall in one. And actually, I'm looking at this. I wonder if I'm going to need to bring this wall in a little bit as well. Because I feel like this is a bit too much space here. Let's put together the stairs real quick and we'll see where we're at after that. So let's see here. So let's see. They would do... So they basically have beams coming out, it looks like. If we're looking at something like this. Because I want to do something a little wooden like this. So they basically had woodens... woodens. They would have wood pegs coming out of the walls, it looked like. In this kind of scenario. It looked like they may have had some sort of cement or something. And then they would have beams running vertically across there. But for here, it looks like you would basically end up with a couple beams coming up. So I think what I may want to do, it looks like there may also, is that a beam there or is that just like a trunk or something? Might just be like some wood. We'll do wood. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have like a couple posts coming along the side like this. We'll have, on one side it'll be connected to the wall and on the other side it'll be like a little wooden post holding it up. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. And then we'll have a couple vertical, horizontal beams coming across like this. I think that's what we're going to end up doing. So, how do I want to do this? So I think this is what I want to do. I'm going to do... I won't put banisters here, though. I'm going to leave them flat for now. -0.75. That was along the Y. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and line it up pretty close to here. And we'll do... Okay, so we'll do a little something like that. And we'll do... -0.1. Actually, it might need to come out a little bit more, otherwise you won't see the beam. Yeah, we'll do thicker beams here, I think. Let's grab these ones real quick. Do a little bit more space here. Okay. I think that'll end up working like that. Okay, and we'll do a couple more here. 5. Oh. Supposed to be 0.5. I think that'll work mostly. Okay, and we'll bring it forward a bit. I might need to thicken up these beams a little bit. I'm not sure yet. We'll stick with this for now and then we'll see how this goes. Okay, I think that'll work. Makes it look a little bit better. And then we can just get a few beams here. I think maybe like 4 or 5. How many is that? 6? Let's do 6. 6. There we go. Okay, so what we'll need to do is we'll need to make sure these are level. this might end up screwing with it a bit. I might need to scale these up or something. Let me see here. Yeah, this is like stretching them all weird. I mean, I'm going for a little bit messy, so I guess this isn't terrible. This certainly isn't coming out quite how I wanted it to. Oh, man. Oh! That's not right at all. Oh, when I... Oh, I see. Okay, hold on. Scale them just along the y-axis. Would have ended up with some silly little Willy Wonka stairs. I wonder if there's a way I can just like space all these out evenly or something like that. Sure, it's got to be possible. Okay, that's a lot better. That is significantly better. Okay. Now, we're going to need one more just right underneath. So we'll do there, 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 there. I kind of figured that would automatically do it, but I guess not. How about we do this then? Hold on. I want to make sure I'm getting through. Where's my, there it is. There is, let me see if this will work. No, because that's not working either. Is there an easier way I can get these across? No, it doesn't look like it. I'm just going to have to do this manually. I think I might have just seen a problem with this. Hold on. God dang it. I should have known that this would be a problem. Okay. You know what? I'm going to eyeball it then. We're going to eyeball it. Screw it. Just eyeball it as close as possible. It's going to look like a little bit of wonky stairs, but that is fine, I think. I think there is a way I can make it follow like the the flow of the edges. I just don't remember what the shortcut key is. Cool. All right, there we go. So I'll have all these come across. Ooh, wrong thing. So we have all these come across just like so. And by doing this, we can just join them up right across. Perfect. All right. I'm going to do solid. Actually, no, we'll do wireframe. Wait, can I do this? I guess not. I'd never tried merge by distance. It's going good, Knight. How you doing? I'm working on some models and stuff for the project. Ooh. Wrong button. All right, now let's go and see this. So I had 6 steps over here, so we'll do the same on this side. 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. And let's go ahead and scale these correctly. Z0. Z0. Nope, I cannot scale them all like that. We'll stick with that for now. I think I'm probably going to have to come back and remake these stairs later on. But I think for now this will end up working out pretty nicely. Be a good little start here. All right, there we go. All right, so now we can go ahead and extrude all these out. There we go. All right, and now I just need to get connected up. It occurred to me, I don't know how far this is coming out of the wall. I'm almost certainly gonna have to change the interior of the tavern a little bit on that corner. All right. Okay, and then let's just go ahead and give it the material. Okay, let's go and do some UVs real quick. Okay, so let's do this. Let's grab faces. We'll grab these ones and these ones. Thinking we'll do the sort of darker yellow here for these ones. I actually found that with the way I set up the material, this actually ends up looking a little bit more brown, which is kind of nice. And then we'll do a darker brown on this one. Okay, and then for this one, I think I'll go and make this one a dark brown as well. Yeah, we'll go and do a dark brown on this one as well. There we go. So that'll add a little bit of color there. Awesome. All right. So now let's go and export this out again. I don't know how this is going to go, if this is going to create like duplicates or something like that. We're going to find out. Design. We go into tavern, import. Actually, is there like a re-import option? Can I like re-import the whole thing? I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna have to. I'm gonna hope it doesn't create like duplicates, and if it does, I'm just gonna have to delete them, I think. Oh, it overwrote them. Oh no. Hold on. Let me see this. Hold on. Let me see if I add in the material, if it'll still work. Oh man. So right now, this is the general style I'm going for. I don't know that. I'm not particularly skilled with texturing. I don't know if I'm gonna hire someone to do the texturing for me or if I am just going to. I kind of like the just kind of solid color style personally. We'll kind of. So I'm not entirely sure. This design will probably end up changing later on down the line. But for now, this is just kind of the design that I'm going with here. Let's see. We'll go from the back going forward. Did I hit close? I think I accidentally hit close the project. I might have to play around with the collision for the stairs, to be honest, just to get those stairs right. Okay, let's see. Okay, good. That would have been so annoying. Yeah. Honestly, I kind of like the way that it looks. Just if I add in like a few divots here and there, I feel like it makes a pretty interesting overall design. I don't know that it's perfect. I don't know if I'm gonna end up changing it. Right now, this is just what it's looking like. So I honestly don't know if I'll end up changing it a little bit more from this later on. All right, let's go ahead and get some of these in real quick. Did I make double-sided stairs? Oh, I forgot the double-sided stair or the double-sided floors. You know what? I think I might have an idea just using with what I got. Why is that going the opposite direction of my mouse? Put just a little inside the wall there. Maybe I'll need to come a little off. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull this wall forward a bit. So this wall will come forward. So I'll end up going with a little something more like that there. Perfect. Okay. And then I think to do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this, bring this up, and I'll shift it over so that way it's not fully blocking here. Actually, it occurred to me, I don't know that this is going to be useful at all. You know, we'll take this area over here out. We'll just go and block that off. Are you still doing the shader variants for the different universes? I am. You can reduck the so you don't have to press the hotkey. I don't mind pressing the hotkey. I like being able to see the whole screen. Yeah, I know I can kind of dock the hotkey off to the side. I think it's like dock and layout or something like that. But yeah, I don't mind just like hitting the hotkey to hit it up. I usually have my fingers on the like in that general position anyways, so it's like just the difference of hitting an additional key, and that's about it. So it doesn't bug me too much. I end up using hotkeys quite a bit actually. let's go and remove these real quick. That's a bit too fast. Let me come over here so I can actually see a little better. Got to get the real up close shot here, so that way I can line it up just perfectly. I do things very. I try to do things like as accurately as possible. I know it's a bit obsessive, and I will likely be the only one who will ever see it. But I am just very obsessive about this stuff. I think that's. Wait. No, the lip's still there. There we go. All right. There we go. That can actually be removed as well. Okay, and I'm actually just going to grab these and bring these just straight up. Okay. There we go. So that should do there. Then let me go and grab one of these little posts. Here we go. All right. Oh, I have the offset so far off. Oh, god dang it. All right. Oh, well. I think it'll still work. Let's see. There's that. And then over here, we bring it forward until it lines up. I think this should work. Did that line up correctly? Oh, these corners aren't exact. You know, we'll make these corners a little thicker then. It'll look just a bit thicker. There we go. We can go ahead and bring that all the way up. Perfect. A little bit too far, but nobody's gonna know. Don't say anything tonight, all right? All right, there we go. Oh, this one went a little too high. Okay, I'll have to fix that. Bring it back just a little bit. Okay, so that's good. Let me go and remove this lantern out here. Because that one's not even going to be seen, so it doesn't even matter. That... Oh, screw it. We'll leave it. And then, let's see here. We'll go and bring in this wall a bit. So I want this right up against those stairs there. Here we go. I know I can line up. I can line up right up against this. I was trying to find like a good position to line it up against. Okay. I think that'll do. That'll do nicely. Awesome. All right. So that'll do nicely. I think I'm going to bring this wall forward a bit as well. Because I don't think I need to go quite all the way across like that. So let's grab all... I'll go and delete this one real quick. I'll grab all of these. We'll bring all of these forward a bit. Oh, I forgot to wrap that back wall. Let's see. I'm thinking we'll bring it up to this beam right here about. Okay, I think that'll look pretty nice. It already looks way, way better just having like a different shape in here. All right, and then we'll grab a couple more. Let's see. I wanted to have a couple of these tables on either side of the portal. So I'm actually going to shift this portal over just a bit, I think. And actually, I was going to have the player selection. Actually, I was going to have a door right here as well, so... Because I think I may want to change this out for like a door or something later on. Let me actually see something real quick. Hold on. Because something just occurred to me. Change stream method, always loaded. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. This needs to be fixed real quick. So I found out... And I was not aware of this. I found out that the reason you have a simple and complex collision, physics actually uses the simple collision. If you decide to use only the complex, it removes all physics capabilities from an object. And I found this out because I tried doing this to all of my objects. That way I would have more accurate collisions. And when you do complex collision, all the physics on everything stops functioning. So you actually need simple collision for some things, which I was not aware of. Actually, this is going to be static, so this could actually probably be complex. So we'll do complex. And then let me see. Let me show complex collision. I want to see if I can have like a single box here, just so we have like a nice flat ramp for players. Oh no, is this for simple only? Damn it. Okay, let's do this then. We will. I'm gonna cheat a little bit here. This probably isn't the best way to do this. A cube right here. Needs to be more accurate. Try and get that just right. I want to sit just over the collision of this stairs. think that'll work all right. Hidden in game. Okay, and let's just make sure no physics. Gravity shouldn't be working if physics is disabled, but just in case. And collision, we'll leave it as default. Actually, we'll do block all dynamic. No, we'll leave default. Cool. And then I'm just going to copy this, bring this all the way up. And we'll do the same thing for the other side. Oh, you know what? This one's going to need to be even more accurate because there's also a lip underneath. Hold on. I might actually have an idea for the second floor without needing to go back and remake any more models. I think I might need to scale this down just a tad. There we go. I think that'll be good. All right. Jesus. Okay. I think I might have problems with this. Oh, man. All right. Oh, there we go. Okay, and now I should be able to simulate and it should work fine. Perfect, and it's an in-game. Awesome. Okay. Let me just go and make sure this isn't always loaded. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go and grab a couple of these tables. Actually, I'm going to offset some of these a little bit so it looks a little wonky. Okay, and then we'll duplicate these. I'm going to bring a couple of them over here to where the portal's at. So that way it kind of fills up the space over here a little bit. Okay, and actually, you know, I'm not going to use the large table. Because actually I want to go back and add in kind of like this where there's a little bit of like a wood low divot in there. So we'll just place a couple of these around, I think. What was this going to be? That's right. So this, yeah, I will need to have the square table over here eventually. So this is going to be the store over here. Down here is going to be where the player kind of gets set up. So anything that they've kind of bought or anything like that, that's where they're going to get set up over here. And then right up here is where you're going to come up and do like the whole multiplayer setup. And so I'm basically going to have like a little setup. My idea right now is to maybe have like orbs or something that the players can kind of grab and then like place into like a socket or a slot or something like that to kind of join into a world. And then for anybody who wants to do self-hosted and doesn't want to use like public servers or anything like that, I may also have like in like that little socket machine there's like a little box or something you can open up and then type in like a little numpad, like you're kind of bypassing stuff. So up here is basically where it's going to look a little bit more Altiverse-y. All right, so let's do this. How do I want to do this? Okay, let's do this. I think I have an idea. Okay, and then this needs to span across 2, I believe. So right about there. Okay, so here's my idea for this. Let's go and duplicate this. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this like right under. We'll go and inverse this. Let me see, is it -1 here? Nope. One of these has to be -1. There we go. And actually, I'm gonna make this, because I'm willing to bet this just has to be like 2 or something. Details, 2. Okay, so we'll go and grab both of these. We'll go and duplicate these a couple times across. So this is a Y, so maybe like 215? No. 220? I think 220 is the sweet spot there. Okay. I might need to do one more and then like shift into the wall or something. Or maybe I'll need to do something very similar to what I'm about to do. Let's do this. I think that'll work. And then what we'll do, here's my idea to kind of fill in that gap. We'll take a couple of these little beams here and rotate this around. So that way that's at like a nice solid 90. This might need to be scaled up a bit more. Okay, and then this is what it's gonna end up looking like. Just a little something like this. Just need to make sure it's all covered. So that way it looks nice and clean. And then we just, bam, just like that. Ends up looking real nice and clean. I think I may need to do like a slightly different color for this or something. Right there. Perfect. And now we need a couple of banisters just right across the top here. So let's see. Oh, I made those a bit big. I did not think I made them that big. Oh well. Actually, I'm gonna thin this down a little bit. I want it kind of centered in there. Just like that. This right across. Perfect. Oh man, this looks way better now. Oh man. This does look way, way better. I don't know if you're still here, Cool Day, but does this look a little bit better? If you are, a little bit more medieval-ish, or do I maybe need to do a little bit more work? I honestly appreciate opinions, so I know I'm probably not the best at all this modeling and everything. What happened over here? Did I have this? Oh, I did have this off. Oh, hold on. Something's wrong there. Yeah, there's a few little oddities going on here and there I think I'll have to fix. I'll leave them for now, I think. Oh, man, I have one there, too. This might need to come forward just a bit more. Just to cover up that banister there. Or not banister, but that beam. Yeah, there's a few low inconsistencies and stuff here and there that I'll have to fix up. You know what, screw it. I'll go and put the large square table over here for now. Because if I, to be honest, if I just re-import it, it'll still work fine. It's not like it's going to kill anything. So it'll be a little something like that. Just right up against the wall there. Cool. So it'll look a little something like this. I'm just going to push that a little closer to the wall. There we go. I don't want players accidentally running into that when they don't mean to or something like that. Okay, and I'm actually going to do this as well. I don't know how well this is going to work. You know, I actually can't stack them on their sides like this, because then they're just going to roll away. I was going to try and stack them up alongside each other, but I already know the physics for that play is not going to work. I'll need to create like something to hold it or something. Like that. But I could probably do a little something like that. That's pretty close. The collisions are a little weird, it looks like, but I'll need to fix up some of the collisions and stuff, I think. Let me see here. Yeah, you can actually see it's in the mesh a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely off. Alright. Well, oh well. It'll work for now. Let's make sure everything is saved. Cool. I think I want to put a few more of these lanterns here, and then maybe a few more up here. So we'll do this. Up here, I think I'm just going to put one. Actually, we'll go and shift it over. We'll put two. Okay, and then we'll go and put a couple over here. I think I want to put them on this wall here. Awesome. All right, I think that's good. I think I'm gonna leave it like that for now. I'm gonna need to make some more assets up here, and those assets are gonna go for each level. But I also just need to finish getting all the multiplayer going. I'm getting quite far along though. I'm happy with how the multiplayer is coming out. It's coming out very, very nicely. I think I'm also have to make it so you can like grab tables and stuff too, probably. Let me go ahead, just double check the player starts in the right spot. It is. Awesome. I think I'm gonna do this actually. I'm gonna put just a few more around just to add like a little bit more stuff around. Just doesn't look like completely flat all along the floor. Because this is supposed to be like a somewhat muddy tavern of sorts. A little dingy place. That is the wrong 2 axes. So it should be muddiest at the door. Pretty clean behind the bench over here. Maybe a little bit dirty over here by where the player setup is. And by the start, I think. So this place is probably going to be like the dirtiest here. I think I'm actually going to drop off a few more right over here. So it looks a little bit dingy and dirty. I'm gonna need to figure out what I can do to the walls to make them look a little bit dingy and dirty as well. I think I may need to come up with some other asset I can throw up here or something. I'm just not sure what it's gonna be. Okay, so we got that. For now, I do want to throw some other things here just to play around with and see how they're gonna function. So I'm gonna go and drop off. Let's see here. Let's go and throw maybe a couple books over here. Okay. So we're going to drop a couple of books over there. Maybe we'll throw a few mugs on the benches. Which I still need to also fix up a bit. I do like this. This is looking a lot. This is starting to look a little bit nicer in my opinion. Yeah. And then I won't bother with the chair because I'm going to completely remake that. That chair, I'm still going to have this mesh, but I'm probably never going to use it. Trying to decide, do I need to put up, I really wanted to put up some more posts because I did think make it look a little nicer. Oh, I know. We can put beams across the top here. Beams will look nice. Oh, that doesn't line up all the way. I did not realize that. Oh, hold on. Let's see. And then we can, I wonder if this will kind of fix up some of the inconsistencies I was having in the corner. Not quite, but it does do a better job. Okay, and then I'll go and rotate one here. Move this one to position as well. 70. Yeah, these ones are lined up correctly. There we go. So we got a few little beams and stuff. Actually, I'm gonna add one more in between these. Kind of every other beam, or sort of. Looks a little bit nicer. I think that actually does make it look a little bit better. That's so, do I have this like at not the right angle? No, I do. Why are these not lining up correctly? This is so weird. Do I have these scaled? No? What's going on? This is so weird. Why are these not lining up correctly? I'll just try and work with it a little bit for now. I'll have to figure out what's going on with this. Seems to be the 10 length wall or something isn't lining up with this one. You know what though? I think that'll kind of make it look a little bit wonky though. Might not be so terrible if it looks a little bit off like that. There we go. All right. I'll be excited to start testing it. Actually, I might see if we can't get it running in VR here in a second. Before we do that, I do kind of want to play around with the PCG again. What time is it? Is that 3:22? It is 3:22. I thought it was a lot later than that for a second. All right. So yeah, I think I like that. So I think I'm gonna leave this for now. This is what our main area is gonna look like for a little bit. I will need to add in a few elements here and there. I need to add in some chairs, some proper chairs. I need to add in some stuff up here for the multiplayer, but that's gonna come later. And then I also need to actually add in like a proper store area here where you can actually buy stuff. But that's not important for the play testing right now. So that in mind, before I do anything, I actually first have to use the restroom. So I will be right back. I'm back. Let us see here. All right. Now, it's time to start playing around with other stuff. Actually, I was thinking, because I also want to make a few quick changes to the weapon. Nothing too drastic. So I'm removing the physics part of the weapons. I ended up... Hold on, let me go ahead and jump in here real quick. That is the wrong one. Let me jump in here real quick. So I went and I played Ghost of Tabor. Awesome game, by the way. I don't know why that opened. That was so weird. It's an awesome game, by the way. In case anybody hasn't played it, it's awesome. I would highly recommend checking it out. However, I did run into a problem with Ghost of Tabor. Ghost of Tabor, if I recall, is actually built in Unreal Engine. And I believe it actually had the Unreal Engine logo as like their little icon down the taskbar, which was one of the reasons I knew. That, and I think it had like an Unreal Engine startup screen or whatever. One of the things that I noticed when playing Ghost of Tabor, and the only complaint that I had, was with the way that the physics worked. When I was going through, the only problem that I would have is I like to take my gun and use it to push open the doors, so that way I could I already had my hands on the gun. If someone was in there, if there was an NPC in there, I could just fire and not have to worry about getting my other hand on the gun real quick. The problem with this is that when you're doing this, I would also run into issues where sometimes the weapon would start spazzing out against the door. So my only concern with Altiverse is players are going to be using melee weapons, and so what would end up happening if, like, they, instead of pushing open the door because they don't want it spazzing out, they start reaching and then they have to have their weapon behind them. If there's an AI on the other side of that door, that's going to become very inconvenient for them. So I started looking at other games. I don't remember what one of them was called. I think it was something Edge, Bleeding Edge, or something like that. But then there's a couple other games, one of which I have played, Iron Lights and Half-Life Alyx. I looked at how they did physics. Iron Lights actually doesn't do physics. The way that they work is when you swing your blade, if it makes contact with a shield or an enemy, the blade breaks and you have to bring it behind you again and swing it again. Bleeding Edge, if that's correct, I did buy it and I wanted to play it. I haven't played it yet, though. The way that they function is you kind of have to take up a stance in order to deal, I don't know if it's to deal more damage or to deal any damage, but you kind of have to take up a stance in order to kind of charge up your blade before you're able to attack. And then there's also elements like parrying and other things to it as well. And Half-Life Alyx, they don't do physics for anything that is being held, only for everything else. Actually, I don't think that's fully true. I think there's some items that do use physics, heavier objects. But most smaller objects, if they use any physics at all, they use very little bits of physics. And I actually noticed this in the starting area. There's a little bucket you can pick up. When you pick it up, you don't notice any sort of like drag or anything like that, like there's any sort of physics. At least I didn't. But everything inside the bucket still shifts around as though it has physics. So what I want to do instead is when something is being held, it's going to not apply any sort of physics or anything to anything around, or it's not going to have any physics directly applied to it. For anything else, that might be affected by physics if it has physics as a part of it. I don't yet know how I'm going to deal with environment walls because I still don't want players dropping things. Maybe I need to figure out something else there. But I, at the very least, don't want the weapons themselves to have physics when they're being held. And what I'll do with melee weapons, what I'm thinking about doing right now, is when you hit an enemy, there's a sort of charge up time, okay? And I'll need to figure out some sort of indicator for this. But what I want to do is have it so that way when you hit an enemy, there's maybe like a second or 2 seconds before you're able to deal the full amount of damage that that weapon's capable of dealing again. And that may also include like any sort of elemental effects or anything like that. If you do decide to hit an enemy again, it's only going to deal partial damage depending on how long it's been since it's last made contact with an enemy. And that whole process will start once the overlap with the enemy that you hit ends. In order to kind of offset this weird little effect, because there's also going to be ranged enemies, melee weapons are also going to deal significantly more damage than ranged weapons. Ranged weapons will still be safer overall for players, in my opinion, or at least that's what I'm going to be aiming for, that it's going to still deal a little bit less damage, but it might be able to deal damage faster. You're not going to have that same drawback where you kind of have a bit of a delay before you can deal that max amount of damage. And that's kind of part of the reason why I'm also going to have a shield as well. I'm hoping the shield will kind of help protect enemies when they're trying to wait for that damage. And different weapons will have different charge up times. So, for example, I have a Warhammer. That's going to have a longer charge time than a sword. I'm thinking about adding a dagger, and if I do, that's going to have even less charge time than that. It might even be almost immediate, but it might deal a little bit less damage than other melee weapons, and things like that. So that's kind of my idea with the melee weapons. With all that out of the way, I did want to see if I could real quick add in just a little delay. And what I think I'm going to do is this. Yeah, we'll do this. So let's grab the blade. We will get on component end overlap. Okay, and actually, do I need non-component end overlap? No, I don't think so. I think I'll use an event tick instead. So we'll bring over the event tick. Actually, I'm not going to have it here. Okay, we'll have a couple of variables. We'll have one for hit. We'll have one for charge time. So let's see, we'll set hit to true. So I'll basically have this. If it's false, it's basically charge, or actually we'll call this charge. We'll call it charge. So actually we'll set this to false. And then by default, we'll make sure that this is true. Okay. The charge time we will set to float. And then we will also create one called max charge time. Let's go and make a category for this as well, because I might end up adding some more elements to this as time goes on. Okay, so get charge. Yeah, I was kind of hoping maybe there's like something similar to the is valid, but I guess there isn't. Okay, so if we are not charged, we want to, and before we do that, set charge time to 0. Actually, let's set this, I'll set it to 2 seconds for now. I might have to think about that a little bit more. So set charge time. Okay, we'll use the delta seconds. Get charge time plus, that will become our new charge time. And if our charge time becomes greater than or equal to our max charge time, which will go into a branch, then we will set charge to true. Okay, and what we'll do over here, this is actually going to be real simple. We will do a select. Actually, let me grab the charge select. Actually, yeah. Because just in case, I want to make sure. Oh, I think it's down here at the bottom. There we go. Because just in case the charge time ever becomes greater than the max charge time. Actually, because I can do this. Let's see, base damage. Actually, I don't need this select. I can do this. So we will do base damage. We'll set this to 1 real quick. Get our charge time. Get max charge time. Get base damage. And here's what I'm thinking. Hold on. I need to. I'm having trouble doing the mental math real quick. Calculator. 0.75 divided by. Yeah, so it is supposed to be charge time divided by max charge time. Charge time divided by max charge time. We'll make sure that this is clamped between 0 and 1. Okay, and that's going to get multiplied by the base damage to determine how much damage gets done. Okay, and then I'll probably end up adding in like some more spawn systems that specifically occur like when it's fully charged or something like that. And that's what that will end up looking like. So most damage we'll be able to do in this case is 1, and it's going to range depending on how much time has passed since everything is charged. And I need to make sure that this actually happens when we're not overlapping. Because I don't want this to be constantly occurring. Actually, no, I'm going to leave it for now. I am going to leave that. We will see what happens. No, I can see how people can abuse that. Okay, let's do this then. I have an idea. Charge. Hit. True. I may need to play around with this a bit. I'm not entirely sure yet, but we'll go with this. Component end overlap. I probably could have used a gate or something like that too. Charge time, and then let's go grab this. So charge hit to false. I can still see how that might potentially be abused, but it'll be a lot more difficult too. So we'll go and leave that for now. I actually don't need that all the way like that, so we'll go and shrink that down. Cool. All right, now let's go ahead and play around with some of the PCG elements. So, reason I want to revisit PCG a bit is because I've actually been seeing people using the PCG for creating architectural stuff. So, we'll do this in the demo level. There we go. Make sure we're in the demo. Let me make sure everything's saved too. Perfect. All right. See, I don't think I have any PCG stuff in here right now, right? PCG. We have a PCG world actor, which does not seem to have anything. Okay, good. All right, so let's see. I remember this needs a landscape, so let's go and create a landscape real quick. Just do new. That'll all be fine. because I've kind of been looking at it, and I don't know that I love the idea of having several different separate rooms. I would like for it to be a little bit more open if I can, but I still want for there to be some sort of like consistency. You know, maybe like there's beams here and there, randomly placed walls, things like that. So we're going to try this. Let's just see how this goes. I won't go too crazy. I just want to play around with it a bit and see what we can do just in terms of flooring. I want to see if we can basically get like a random shaped floor. We'll start with that. My camera is still at 0.1. I did not realize that. Let me set this to unlit. There we go. All right. PCG test. PCG graph. Oh, that does not center it apparently. Whoops. Okay. Plus. You know, I'm just gonna do this. Go ahead and. We'll just eyeball it. Let's see here. Let's grab our brush. Is it not in the brush? Is it in here? I thought there was a way I could kind of rescale it a bit. Maybe not. Oh, there it is. That'll work. 2000, 2000. And we'll just kind of center it a bit. Let me make this camera quite a bit faster. Okay, so we're going to try this again. We're going to see how this goes. So let's start by seeing if we can just create like a random shaped floor. Okay, we'll start with that. All right. So, let's see. We get our landscape, I believe. There is a. I need to remember how to do this. Density filter. Shape. Let's do a little bit of research here real quick. Unreal Engine, PCG, create random shape. Well, I wonder too, it is possible to create a spline, or it is possible to use a spline for some of this. Hold on. PCG tutorial. Oh, there's my stream. I wasn't expecting mine to come. Yeah, I'm gonna turn that down a bit. Surface sampler, that's what it was. Okay, so let's see here. Let's just start with this real quick. We get a surface sampler. Our landscape goes into the surface. I don't think we need a bounding shape. We do debug. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so here's our debug. So what I need is I need a way that we can basically create a random shape for the room out of this. So do 1 point per square meters, maybe. What does that end up looking like? Okay. So I think we're now ending up with 1. Looseness of 0. Because there would still need to be some consistency here. Okay. Not attribute select. Maybe is there a random? Let's see here. Spline. Here we go. Spline sampler. So we can get a spline of some kind. What would that be? Get actor property, maybe? Let me see. PCG spline, maybe? PCG spline. PCG. Because if I can do this, maybe I can have like a random spline of some area or something. Get spline data. Hold on. Get spline data. All world actors. No matching actor was found. Actor selection by tag. Bounds. Okay, hold on. So hold on. If I add in, just real quick, a spline. Mesh actor. Details, tag. Spline bounds. Let me just grab this real quick. Okay. Oh, interesting. All right. We'll follow along with this for a little bit. Oh, interesting. I did not know that. I didn't know that was a thing. So hold on. Left alt. Oh, interesting. Oh, wait, this is a spline mesh. Ah, dang it. Hold on. I thought something was wrong here. Okay, so hold on. Let's see. Do actor, spline, actor. Add in a spline. tag. Copy. Oh, did I just crash Unreal? Oh, where's code? There it is. Oh no. Oh no. Oh wait, did it fix itself? God dang it. Oh, interesting. So I can actually use the spline and get the interior bounds of it. Okay. Okay, so I'm actually doing this a little bit differently. And actually, if I do this, I wouldn't even need a landscape. So that might actually, I mean, I don't know that would necessarily be better, but it might just make things a little bit easier. And then it would just be a matter of figuring out how to build walls and everything. I imagine walls and stuff can't be too... Well, no, I guess I'm wrong. I can see how they would be very difficult. Maybe what I would have to do is select a couple of them at random, put posts like right in the center or on some corner of those things, attach them to each other. Then using those, we kind of build like a sort of wall around each other. It would all have to be double-sided too for that. Let me see here. Oh, you know, it did not save anything I was doing. Okay, it did. Cool. I don't know if the spline thing is still in here. Spline mesh actor is. Okay, let's go and remove that. Okay. Let's go and open this up. Sampler, spline sampler. Here we go. Okay. Let's see, dimension. On interior. Okay, and then we would want to see the debug here. We open this up. Let me just like set it together right here maybe. Close the loop. There we go. Just to give us like some kind of general shape. Did it not save the tag? Might not save the tag. Hold on. Oh, it wasn't put on the actor. I put it on the spline. There we go. All right, there we go. Interesting. Okay. All right, so we can use this to kind of create a general shape. So I would basically need to figure out a way to create like a spline of some random shape. And that could kind of create like the general interior. Okay. And then what we could do, spawn static mesh spawner. Okay, so hold on. Just as a general view of how this works, let's go ahead and disable this debug. Let's go and jump in here. Let me grab those 1x1 floors real quick. Where is, there it is, meshes, tavern. There's the 1x1, so we can drop that in there. Does that? Is there like another step to this or something? Interesting. It just kind of worked for him. Maybe is it because I connected it to the out? If I disconnect that, does that work? No. Disable that debug. Why do I not? Work on a VR game and your tutorial has been extremely helpful. Thank you, my friend. You are absolutely welcome. And I do see the chat, by the way, Sunglow. Let's see. Let me try disabling this debug, maybe. I thought I'd already disabled that. I'm glad to know you enjoyed the tutorials, by the way. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Let me try this real quick. What if transform points? Is it possible that this is why it's not working? Offset min, offset max 10? I have no idea. Why does it work just fine for him, but it doesn't seem to work just fine for me? This doesn't make any sense. Oh, it goes into mesh entries. Oh, that would explain it. That would probably do it. There we go. Okay. Are they spawning inside of one of each other? They certainly are. Oh, they are absolutely spawning inside one of another. Let's see here. 0.5. 5. Oh wait, is it because they're offset? Hold on. Switch that back to 0 real quick. Ten. To figure out how to make a VR marker that can write on walls, but now I'm just watching what. I am currently playing around with the PCG stuff. Also, if you want to learn how to make a marker, I think I might have actually made it like a brief little tutorial on that. You want to look into, I believe they're called render textures or something like that. I believe it's called a render texture. I think that spaced them all out correctly. Let me just double check here. I think if I do one by... wait, does that still work? I can't really tell. 0.25. I feel like they're overlapping with one another, or something. Let's see there. There's 0.25. I'm gonna do just under 0.5 just to see. Yeah, so 0.5 is the sweet spot right there. So 0.5, 0.5. Thank you, I appreciate it. And good luck with your project, by the way. All right. Cool. So I can use this to make a general shape. I wonder if there's a way I can make like a random box shape. Let's see. What other kinds of data can I get? Get actor data, landscape data, primitive data, spline data, texture data, volume data. I mean, I could create a random noise texture, it looks like. Second infected map linear has unsupported texture format. Oh, it's a texture format. Okay, so I don't think I want to use texture data. Sure. I don't know if I'll be able to answer your question, but I'm at least willing to have a look at it. Oh yeah, there's a lot of people who come into the chat just to ask questions. I don't mind it. I appreciate it. Spline data. I wonder if there's a way. I wonder if I can kind of make this like a little bit more flat or something. Let me see here. Let me grab this. I wonder if I still need this at all. I don't. Awesome. I didn't realize that spline was raised as well. Okay, let's see here. Let me grab this one. I wonder if it's possible. Default of vector. Is it linear? Would these all have to be linear? Hold on. Details. Oh yeah, that would create a much better shape. So I could probably take like 4 or 5 or even more of these and just create like a general shape of some kind. Is in every video creates a blueprint interface with grab and release. Even though there's a blueprint interface in the VR template, that is what I'm using. Shortly after, to be able to use the function grab that he created, he goes to the VR pawn and cuts off input action grab left, grab right, and uses them. When I cut them off, I am losing the functions. You do lose the function, so I kind of get the feeling I may know where you're going with this. So the reason I do that is because when I create the tutorials, I try to make them somewhat quick. You know, I'm trying to generally show how the functionality works. Okay, so it's not necessarily the most reliable or the most accepted way of doing something, you know, input wise. It's just what I do because it shows generally how that setup would work. As far as the input action goes, or the blueprint interface, those aren't really used as often anymore, to be completely honest. You still use them for some things, but for things like grab and release, you probably don't. And that's perfectly fine. You could probably just use a built-in function cast to an actor or something like that. I kind of get the feeling where you might be asking, you're a little bit more concerned about the inputs. Generally speaking, what you would want to do is create a new input. And it's not a particularly long process. They did make it a little bit longer in Unreal Engine 5. If you want to create a new input, you would do a couple things. So first, you would go, let me show you just as a quick example here. So I'm mostly using the default inputs. But if you go in here, you create an input action, okay, is what you're going to create. These are all input actions, okay? If you want, you can double click on these. There are certain things you can change, like you can change, you can add in a dead zone. You can change whether or not this is an axis 1D, which is typically going to be tied to something like a thumbstick, or something like a D-pad left and right. A bool is usually going to be tied to a button. An axis 2D is probably, again, going to be tied to something like a thumbstick or a D-pad, something that has two axes. I've never really seen what the axis 3D is used for. I've never seen anybody use that. I don't really know why it exists. But I guess if you had something that had 3 dimensions or something like that. But yeah, then you would basically go in and you would create something like this, an input mapping context. You were likely using one by default. I'm using the default one right now. I just didn't feel like creating one because then you also have to go into the project settings. You have to go all the way down here to OpenXR. And I think I missed a step. Hold on. Where is OpenXR? There's OpenXR. You'd actually first need one of these PMI VR templates, which is actually in that same folder. And this is basically tells OpenXR what inputs are being used. So you need to add that into the context. You can see the IMC default is set as a context. But then you would open up your default. You would add in whatever mapping you want to use. So like if I wanted to add one to hand grasp right, then you would go in and you'd create another input. So the only reason I do that is because not because I can't explain it or anything like that. It's just, I don't want to spend, an extra 5 minutes or whatever just going through and discussing how to do those various inputs. I'm just trying to generally show how that functionality works. Using the default or your this is like connected to... Yeah, Unreal Engine 5 made it a little bit more complicated. The enhanced inputs, don't get me wrong, it's great. There's a lot of great reasons to use this. So if you have like an input that if you have like a set of inputs you'll need to use in certain scenarios, like maybe you need different inputs for flying a plane and a different set of inputs for moving around on the ground or something like that, then in that case you might have like different enhanced like sets, sort of different input sets. And you may enable and disable them as they're needed. And that's kind of the reason this exists now. Quite frankly, in VR, you're probably using the same inputs all the time. Yeah, that's really the only reason that I do that. If you're in Unreal Engine 4, this isn't nearly as difficult. It actually uses the old input system, which you can still use. It just doesn't work as well in Unreal Engine 5 anymore. Oh, did they remove it actually? Oh no, there it is. It's just now becoming deprecated. Yeah, so this is the old way you would have done it. You would have just had like action mappings for buttons and axis mappings for axes. So yeah, that's really the only reason I didn't do like different inputs is because I didn't want to add in an additional several minutes just going over, oh, this is how you add in inputs here, 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 and here. It's yeah. And the template in 5, when I pick up a cube or just any grabbable component, 9% of the time, I can't throw it. It doesn't let go instantly. I did encounter that as well. I'm trying to remember. I actually broke my index recently, so I haven't been able to go over this quite as well. Let me see. I don't think I'm using the default. Valve, index, left, grip. Was it grip access or grip force? I'm trying to remember. I did encounter that issue. I found a solution. I'm trying to remember what it was. Hold on. IA grab left. Is this an access? It is. Okay, so what I think what it was, I think rather than using grip access, you want to use something like grip. You could see there's grip. There actually is a difference between these. I think grip access and grip force are actually different as well. Grip access is actually a range of motion between 0 and 1. The grip, it actually acts more like a button. And so sometimes, I don't have my other index controller right now. But I think part of the reason that happens is sometimes it doesn't fully detect that your hand is released because your hand actually does slightly brush up usually like right here along the front of your hand there. And so I think sometimes it just doesn't go fully to 0. And I think that might be why that happens. The thing about the enhanced input actions, completed occurs only when this access value is fully 0. It has to be fully 0, or if it's a Boolean, it has to be fully false. Okay, so no longer any input whatsoever. So if there's even a little bit of an access being input, it's not going to run through completed. It needs to be fully 0, or you need to have something in, I think it's triggered, where you have like some sort of range where like if it's less than like 10 or so, or actually I think it's between 0 and 1, so like less than 0.1. So grip access is the grabbing function in the blueprint interface. Yes, the grip access is the grabbing, it is basically the equivalent of the grabbing interface. I think if I recall, it used to use the interfaces in Unreal Engine 4, like the old Unreal Engine 4 tutorials, and that's why I used to do the interfaces. Now, though, it's a little bit easier to just use the input. So I could change to grip instead of access in the input. Yeah, I would suggest trying to change it to grip instead of grip access. That will likely fix your issue with it not always letting go. I'd probably also do that with the Oculus as well. It's usually not as much of a problem on the Oculus, but I mean, if you're not really using the access, there's not really a point in having it. That can sometimes be used for like animations, like just slightly opening and closing like those 3 fingers or something like that, like just in a range, in an animation. But yeah, I would probably either switch it to grip, or I would just add into the triggered like some kind of range or something. Is probably what I would end up doing. So I need to do something in the interface afterwards as well, right? I don't think so. I believe the interfaces should be able to remain mostly the same. If I recall, those are old tutorials. If I recall correctly, you're only passing through the motion controllers into those interfaces. So there's not really any need to do anything different to the interfaces. If you wanted to remove them, you could just do a cast to the actor instead. Or what I usually do now is I usually have like a component, like a grab component, that just kind of, that's what it was. It used to use interfaces instead of components. So Unreal Engine used to use interfaces. You used to have to cast to any nearby objects and check to see if they have an interface. In more recent versions of Unreal Engine, they actually have something similar to... It's not here. Hold on. Where's mine? Physics. Grab. Not that one. Where is it? Is it in C++ classes? In more recent versions, they have a component that you would usually check to see if an actor has, rather than a interface. Yeah, I think I deleted the grab component because I created my own. But yeah, in older versions of Unreal Engine, that's what it used to be. It used to be by default, it would actually check to see if there's any nearby actors for an interface. There was still the option to add in a component, but to be honest, I was still relatively new at that time as well, so I didn't really connect those dots until they started rolling out the grab component. And so now you just check to see if it has a component. If it does, you get a reference to that component and you call a function on that component rather than checking interfaces or anything like that. Components can sometimes be a little bit more difficult to work with, depending on how much experience and stuff you have. So I don't know. I feel like interfaces might be a little bit easier for people who are a little bit newer. That might just be my opinion. I don't know if that's necessarily everybody's, but yeah, I don't know. Personally, I think that interfaces might just be a little bit easier for newer people, in my opinion. Oh. You'll try it after your chow. All right. Yeah, definitely. Let me know how it goes. Oh man, what time is it, by the way? I've been streaming for a couple hours now, I think. 4:20. Let me try playing around with this just a little bit more. I wanted to try doing a little bit more on this. So my thought for this is... Let me see. Is there a way I can get like a random selection? How would I get like a random selection of points? There's a point filter. That might be it. Or maybe a point sampler. Let's check out both of these real quick. So point filter. I love how they... I mean, I get that it's an experimental feature still, or like not fully rolled out, but come on. I'd love to be able to, at the very least, somewhat know what the heck I'm doing. Let's see here. Let's try the point sampler. We take the points, ratio 0.1. So let's see this debug real quick. So it looks like this does work. I would probably need much fewer points. I wonder if I could create like a path to like a start endpoint. Oh, you know what I'll probably need to do? Oh, I know what I'll have to do. Oh, I know what I'll have to do. Oh, this is going to be such a pain in the butt. Oh, man. I know exactly what I'll have to do to make this work. Let me see how this point filter works real quick before I start using this point sampler. Debug. Okay, so that just kind of gets all of them. I think it's using some sort of... Yeah, it's using some sort of attribute. So yeah, I'm going to want to use a point sampler. Oh, this is going to be a pain. I think I know exactly what I'll have to do. Okay, so hold on. Let me do something real quick. transform points. Because if I can do something like this, I can make like some backrooms type stuff, have it so that way I have like a door or something that just kind of like goes straight out on like the edge of the thing. I think what I'm gonna have to do, I don't know if I need like a perfectly square thing. Maybe I can kind of like offset them a little bit just so it's not like perfectly square, like just have them like they slightly change a little bit. Then what I can do is have it so I have a secondary spline that'll create a random path, and then at some point create an endpoint, and then maybe at some point it'll even branch off and create like other sort of like a store area and a see, I'd probably want a store area. I'd probably want some doorways into other areas or some teleporters into other areas. And then maybe even a few side bosses or even main boss rooms. Well, I guess, yeah, boss rooms, side boss rooms, chests and things like that. And then once it's figured out the path, then it'll take everything left, build up a bunch of random walls. Oh man, this is going to be a nightmare. Actually, though, to be fair, this is probably going to be way easier than anything that I had to do just straight through code. To be completely fair. All right, so hold on. This rotation min, rotation max. Hold on. Scale offset would need to go up by like 400, I think. Okay, so we're using the same general mesh. Actually, I could probably even do lit as well. Yeah, this is on top, so I need this to actually be flipped. So these 80, 80. Wait, no, not on 0. I think it has to be anything other than 0. But I think if I recall, I set it in the corner, so I think then I also need to rotate it a bit. Yeah, I did. So it's got to be rotated probably on the x-axis. I'm assuming it's got to be like 90 or negative 90. Hold on. Let me do this. This might make it a little easier. It does, in fact, not make it easier. Oh, man. Let me do this. 90. 90. No. Okay, so this would have to be on the z-axis. So maybe like 90. 90. Might need to be something like 180 or something like that. Yeah, because that's off. Actually, maybe it's negative 90. Let's see here. I think that lined up correctly. Did that line up correctly? Yes. I cannot tell. I think it lined up correctly. Oh yeah, you know what? I know how I can tell. It's because the grain of the wood on the ceiling goes against the grain of the wood on the it runs perpendicular to it. Perfect. So yep, that's perfect. Awesome. Okay, and then we would also need to spawn another static mesh beside this one. Oh, did I just crash things? Okay. It's not a kill and blow yet, but that is probably a reminder I should save. Before I start causing problems. Okay, so this one, it's a good thing I made that 1x1 design for the beams. Okay, so for this one, actually that lines up perfectly. Awesome. That actually works awesome. And then the last thing is I would need to grab all of the floor points. Save again. I don't feel like coming back and having to redo this. Overlap. There's got to be a way to do like a collision. Or, you know what? I have a list of all the points. Edge? Is there maybe a way to get like edge? I don't suppose they have that built in, probably. Curve, remap density, density noise. Oh, here's a list of density, bounds min, bounds max. Let's try the bounds max real quick. Let's have a quick look at this debug. Debug, save. Let's see here. That doesn't seem to do it. Add attribute. I wonder if maybe, I know there's ways of doing blueprint. I don't fully understand how the blueprint side of this works yet though. Because this might need to be, because I don't think that this is meant to be like fully logical. Maybe it is, and I'm just not like fully understanding this. Let's go and create one real quick. Oh, I already have one. Hold on. We'll use this one real quick. New PCG blueprint element. There we go. Okay. So, how does this work? Graph is not editable. Hold on. Override seed. Variables test. Let's see if I made this public. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yep. So I can use that. So hold on. What kind? So hold on. There's actually PCG data types, it looks like. Why is it not letting me type? PCG. Okay. Yep. Here we go. PCG data collection. see, would it maybe be PCG point? No. PCG. Context, would it be data collection? PCG. What would this be? Problem is too is I need a way to output these. I don't know how to output them. Type any, subtype any additional information. Okay, so hold on. I think this execute PCG data collection structure. Break tag data. Oh wait, I bet this is it. Hold on. Random array item. Make PCG data collection. Make array. So if I'm correct, file save. Hold on, I'm still looking at the old debug, I think. Force regen. Maybe it's not this one. Maybe it's a different one. Let me try this real quick. Oh, nope, that did work. Okay, it was because of the parent. Oh, wait, did it not? Oh, I thought it did. Wait. Oh, no, I'm seeing the spline points. Dang it. Okay, so hold on. So that doesn't... Oh, wait. I did have that fed in, right? So I don't think that works. So let's try one of the other ones real quick. So let's see, we have execute with context. Oh wait, I'm not, I thought I was seeing the debug still. Dang it. Let me actually do this. Let me go and double check this real quick. So execute's doing something. I can clearly tell that this is doing something. I just don't know what it is. me see. There's got to be a way I can do this. PCG blueprint. If I can just figure this part out, I'd be golden. Required setup, the procedural node graph. For this, get edge points. I don't know. Let me look up Unreal Engine. PCG points. I might need to do a little bit more research on this. I have no idea how this is functioning. Text break. Make. I think I've managed to somehow just completely break this. I think I managed to break this all together. Oh. An idea on creating a VR marker. Any advice would be appreciated. Is it possible to set up a line of dot collisions to look like a marker line? It is. It's probably not easy to. Well, actually, maybe it's not super difficult to do. I remember I did make a tutorial on this a while back. I don't remember what it's called. I believe, if I recall, you're looking for a render canvas. VR playground marker. Waypoint markers. Here it is. Drawing on surfaces. This is probably roughly what you're looking for. The only, if you wanted to be able to like draw like between the lines, the only thing I would suggest doing, if I recall, you're actually getting a vector 2D or something like that, or you're getting some sort of positional data on where the marker is currently. What I would do is get the last position of the marker, and then maybe like fill in every unit or two between there and where you are now, and then set it, and then bring that location back to wherever the marker is currently. That would kind of be the best idea I could think of. The way that this is meant to work, it's honestly not great for how fast players can move with VR. Only because when you start moving around, it basically captures, you know, I think it's like every tick or something like that. And so if players are moving faster than the tick is going, then you're going to obviously miss points. So kind of the only thing you can do is kind of keep track of where the last point was, where the current point is, and then kind of draw a line between that last point and the current point. That would kind of be like the best idea I could think of. Oh, you know what? I might actually have somewhat of a solution here. Get data. Actually, we can grab this real quick. I wonder if this would work. Debug this, and this would be spline sampler. This would be on spline, I think. Maybe I would need to do this. Why does it not seem like it's updating anymore? Did I accidentally disable something? Hold on, let me check something. I think there's actually a setting. No, why can I not see debug elements? It's so weird. That was also weird. Been having issues, but I'm trying to apply it to a marker mesh instead of a controller. I'm making a maze that you can mark on the walls to keep track. Oh, that's really cool. That sounds really awesome. I hope that turns out really well. That sounds like it would be really cool. On spline. Okay. Oh. Oh, interesting. Wait. Oh, wait. Has this been working this whole time? Hold on. I'm just gonna grab one so I can see what I'm doing. I'll grab this one. Oh. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Oh, shoot. Okay, so this is actually... Awesome, Sunglow. I appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely hope it goes well. Alright, let's see. So that's on spline. That'd be like on volume or something? Is there like a different thing I can use? Huh. Distance. Set density, maximum distance 2000, sphere bounds. Distance to neighbors. No point data can be used to sample. I think I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on some other tutorials. I think I know a couple I might be able to look at to get this going right. I think what I'll probably have to do, I think this is kind of a good starting point. What I can probably end up doing is basically make it so I have like a square of sorts. Maybe I can even add or decrease in a few points. Then using that, I can draw, or I can create a wall from one corner all the way to the next, and then all the way to the next, all the way next, all the way around. And then I'll probably even push in the wall a little bit because it kind of seems to me like on some of these edges, it might end up getting a little bit outside the bounds of the wall. I think I'm probably going to have to do some sort of shape of a square, to be honest, because this might end up looking a little weird. It's either that or I'm going to have to push in the walls a little bit more. And then what I can do, get a whole bunch of random points, mark between that, create like a path of some sort between them. So that way then I know I have a point from start to end, to a store, to a loot room, to a side boss, and then everything else that gets spawned in there. And then from that, I can then create just a bunch of random walls around. And this might actually end up looking quite a bit nicer. And then from that, again, I can then get a whole bunch of random points that aren't walls, spawn enemies at some of those random points, maybe spawn some weapons at some of them, just a bunch of random stuff. The weapons, I think, are going to be like unlockable, so once you find them, they're basically going to be in like a sort of, I don't know that I want to call it a side boss, but sort of like a challenge room. And then once they've beaten all the challenges, they get the weapon, and then they permanently have it. They can go back to the start, and then they can bring it with them on their next run if they lose it or whatever. And then the upgrades throughout are going to be like various different like elemental modifiers and things like that. So, but I have to figure out how to make these walls work first off. And I think I am going to end up going with like a square of sorts. So I'll probably have it so that way these splines will create a random shaped square. And I think the kind of weird little messiness, I like the idea of trying to do a, I forget what the word is. I know the back rooms has like the same idea. God, I can't remember what the heck it's called. Basically, an uncomfortable emptiness that just constantly has enemies popping in and out at random times. I'll probably even have like a few, like not a ton, but maybe like a handful of enemies that are intent on trying to get to the player. What is this? Why do I have a line going through these? Wait. Did I create this correctly? Wait, did I do this somewhat correctly? Hold on. Hold on, let me do the SM cube. What is this? What do I have here? I don't think it's a, what do I have? Oh wait, is it the distance? It might be the distance. It is. Wait, was I spawning them? Honestly, I could probably even like spawn actors and just have them find like the nearest ones to them. That would probably work as well. And then just create the path between them. Yeah, I think this is the distance. No, it's not. What is this? What on earth do I have here? Oh, it's the spline sampler. Fascinating. I'm not entirely sure how this is working. Maybe it's because it's on the spline. Oh, wait, I know why it's not on one side. It's because the spline, I have it viewed as a loop, but it doesn't actually loop. Oh, wait, maybe it does? Wait. I am so confused. Or maybe it's just so thin at the edge you can't really tell it's part of the thing? Oh no, there it is. Why does it start here? That is way up. Wait, am I transform? No, I'm not. How did I do that? Oh man, I'm gonna have to play around with this a bit more. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end off the stream here. It's been a very nice stream. I've enjoyed talking to you guys and answering your questions, all that kind of stuff. It's been a lot of fun. But I think I'm a little bit tired. I gotta do more research on this now. I'm probably gonna transfer this over to my laptop and do a little bit more work here in a little bit. But yeah, I've enjoyed talking to you guys. I appreciate you guys coming to the stream. I hope you guys are able to make it to the next one. I'm gonna try and do a stream tomorrow. I'll see how that goes. I got a couple things going on tomorrow morning, and hopefully they don't bleed into the afternoon. We'll see. But if not, I will definitely be streaming next week, and I hope to see you guys at that stream. So yeah, I appreciate you guys joining. I don't know how many people we got left in the chat or anything like that, but yeah, I hope you guys all have a good one. All right.